And now we're going to talk about a little more obscure, but that is people ask about monomeric versus polymeric C18s. So it's getting into the nitty gritty of columns, but just about every column out there, every C18 column that we're using is a monomeric, which means the C18s are floating around, doing their own thing, happy as can be. Now we make what's called a polymeric C18, which means that all the C18s are holding hands. It's cross-linked, and it forms a very stiff stationary phase. Now, where that makes a difference is we can actually show some shape selectivity in our separations. Now, that's interesting. Shape selectivity is not inherent in reverse phase. It's a little bit of a challenge. In this case, we can get some shape selectivity based on the shape of the molecule. So the classic example, there's a couple of PAHs, polynuclear aromatics, and think if I had two molecules with the same number of aromatic rings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I arrange them in a plane versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where I can arrange them sort of a stair step. Those two molecules have the exact same hydrophobicity, so they would not separate on a reverse phase column in a pure hydrophobic mechanism. But since one of those molecules is flat, it could reach in between the C18, sort of like a toaster oven, a piece of toast in a toaster, and get more interaction than the crooked molecule, which cannot fit in between. So the polymeric C18s are often called PAH columns, for polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbon. There is an EPA method out there that specifies using this column, which sort of put it on the map, but it's also an interesting column for the rest of us because it does show some shape selectivity. It's not my first column that I would reach for, or my second, or probably my third, but it's in my toolbox. And if you're looking for one of those weird types of separations or something you need some shape selectivity, yeah, it's an interesting one. There's also like a snake venom and an anti-venom that can be separated on that type of column. So that's our polymeric C18s.